and what a hullabaloo. What a night we had here on SmackDown. Oh shit, I gave away the grade. Whoops. That's live TV, folks. You didn't see that. Oh god, I did it again. Oh god, I put the wrong image up. Oh god almighty. Oh no. What have I done? Live TV. Live YouTube videos. You know what I meant. Here we go. That's what I meant. Here we are. It's not even showing up at all. That's fun. Okay, well, you know the grade. We're just gonna run through this. Whatever. It's Friday night. It's a party, Maggle. You saw the grade. You saw it. You all saw it. You were all there. Anyway, we're talking about Smackdown. This was the show that 1 week to go before SummerSlam, and we're gonna talk about that for a little bit and talk about what happened and how it all made us feel. The show opens up with recap of Retribution. I'm sorry, Retribution. I know a few people on social media were saying how the name reminds them of me doing the joke, and so I just wanted to give them that shout out there. So yeah, Retribution show up and cause a lot of chaos last week, and they bring up on commentary tonight, what is it, the words? They're hiding behind current events as an excuse for their wanton destruction. Really cool. What kind of current events are those? Gosh, is it the current events of the Postal Service? Is it the current events of literally anything else from what we're all thinking? Because I've run out of ideas. So without actually saying it, they have basically said, hey, this is all based on BLM and our depiction of Antifa, and it's great. And so at least they said it without actually saying it. So good for them. We just confirming what we all knew on day one. Gotta love it. They say extra security has been hired, but that immediately falls to the wayside in a matter of minutes, because their first match is Big E versus John Morrison, and they each get pre-match promos. I would love to see just Big E get his own entrance video. I said last week I don't think he should have the New Day Association, and maybe not go that far as to completely disassociate him from it, but if you're going to have him be a solo guy for a while, change up the graphics and just have his name on there instead of it just The New Day. Big E is not The New Day. He is part of The New Day, but Big E is Big E. So just put his name on there. I think that would be so much better. And would it's the same thing as taking Roman Reigns and changing almost nothing about his aesthetic when the Shield broke up. He still had the music, still had the look, but there's no more Shield, so what the fuck? So that's kind of my thoughts on Big E being... he needs to kind of update that a little bit. The match does not go very long because Retribution show up. So much for that extra security, because they just breeze right on through there. The lights went off and boom, they were there. And they start a big old beatdown. And then nobody comes to make the save here. It's something they will rectify later in the show. But you'd think after a week and a half or 2 weeks of this, like they'd be a little more on edge. No, they have no reaction time to this. So... yeah, that happens. That's the opening bit there. I do like after the break, we've got this moment where like faces and heels are in the locker room, both kind of commiserating. Morrison and Big E are being taken care of. It's like there is this mutual shared threat that kind of unifies everyone. So I like that they kind of had that moment there. King Corbin, first of all, Big E, or Miz and Morrison, blame Big E for starting it because he was talking big mess to Retribution on the Twitter machine. And then they leave. In comes King Corbin, who wants to say, this locker room needs a leader, and I am the king, so I guess I'm the leader. Big E stands up and gives a very powerful speech, rallying the troops and whatnot. But then in comes Sheamus with his, I would imagine, very comfortable coat in Florida in the middle of August. But he talks about how, he just basically mocks and heels on him. So basically, whatever inkling we got last week of a Sheamus face turn, forget about it. Not even in the cards anymore, because he is just full-on heel on this night. So after that happens, Big E says, unlike what Sheamus says, he's actually not alone. I apologize in advance because I'm doing a lot of looking down for my notes. Usually I have them up on the screen, but my projector is it's being used by my family because they're watching a movie with some neighbors across the street. And I'm here doing my SmackDown review for you on a Friday night. So anyway, our next match is the Triple Brand Women's Battle Royal. Sasha and Bayley begin the match in the ring as ring announcers, and they bring out the names here. There's the Iconics, there's Tegan Nox, there's Shotzi Blackheart, who got her gear back, which I'm just so happy for her, because last week she got her car stolen, and all her gear was in it as well, including like her horned helmet that apparently has been part of her, she's been with her ever since she started training. So, for her to get that back, you love to see it. So, as that happens, so then out comes Lacey Evans, and then out comes Asuka, who was already booked to face Sasha Banks at SummerSlam, but now she just sauntered into this Triple Brand Women's Battle Royal because she wants all the gold now. Then out come the rest: Nikki Cross, Dana Brooke, Naomi, Tamina, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Ruby Riott, and Shayna Baszler. By the way, points to Bianca Belair for wearing blue gimmick tonight in honor of the SmackDown brand. Not just wearing red. There's some good action here in this Battle Royal. The Iconics and 2/3 of the Riot Squad eliminate each other, carrying that feud on. Bianca with crazy strength. She picks up Tamina, kind of like the Glam Slam, with like the underhook, the arms in the back, and then just dumps her out face first out of the ring. That's some good strength there. Shotzi and Lacey eliminate each other. Bianca gets eliminated, and then we're down to Asuka, Baszler, Dana Brooke, who's been outside of the ring for a lot of the time, not eliminated, and Tegan Nox. Scary moment when Shayna tries to like lift and powerbomb like Tegan out of the ring, and she just can't get her up. And so there's like run into the ropes, and like Tegan's neck hits the bottom rope. That was so scary because I immediately got flashbacks to like Enzo when he knocked himself out, or like Vince McMahon when he got thrown out by Chyna in '99 of the Battle Royal. He like clips his neck on the fucking rope. Very similar vibes I got to that one, but they seem to be okay. Tegan gets knocked out. So your final two are Asuka and Shayna. There's a moment where Bayley tries to pull Asuka out of the ring from the outside. I forget who brought this up. I think it might have been Sean Ross Sapp on Twitter. Well, what's the point of having these extra officials on the outside if they can't enforce like no illegal eliminations from outside people who aren't in the match? Which, you know, that's a trope in these battle royals for years and years, and so they never enforced it then, so I guess why not now? So it makes sense, I guess. So, and Asuka ends up winning this thing. She will be wrestling for both championships at SummerSlam. How's that going to work? 2 matches in one night, back to back, or like a handicap match? And then after the break, we see the champs kind of like griping about what happened. And, you know, Bayley has this very cutting line where she says, you know, God, well, when Asuka beat me last week, it was non-title. So at least at SummerSlam, I'll have something worth fighting for. And then you can see this very big, like, shot of Sasha looking very disappointed and hurt by the words that Bayley used there. It's like, what? Like, oh, suddenly fighting for my benefit is not important? We are best friends? Aw, sad. Then Asuka jumps them. That's how the segment ends. You know, people complain how we see too much of Bayley and Sasha these days. I feel we're kind of getting to that overload with Asuka. And, you know, I know there is a predisposition to like Asuka. I like Asuka. I think she's great. And so, but I think that, you know, and she has been an MVP in the COVID era we live in, especially like in that first few weeks. She was at the start of the show, I think, on both shows. So she's definitely deserved her spot, but I feel that the women's division right now, it's bad enough that it's focused on 2 women, in Sasha and Bayley. Now it's just, you know, it's just kind of like absorbed Asuka into this thing, and she's still feuding with both of them. I think that Asuka is coming into this thing and swooping in. Like, I'm going to mostly reserve judgment because I'm sure there's a reason for this, and it will all play out at SummerSlam, but I feel that this could have gone to somebody else. I feel you could have had Bayley challenge somebody else. Maybe it's like it's just a cleaner, neater storyline to keep it just to Asuka right now because she's the one who's got the bad blood with both of them. So on that level, I get that, but at the same time, it's like, can we focus on literally any other woman right now across both shows? It feels like the focus is just on them, and there are other women involved, but they feel so secondary and minor compared to like the big 3 right now. We go from a storyline where we see one pair of lady best friends on the verge of breaking up to a recap about a story of another pair of best lady friends who have broken up in Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Mandy cuts a backstage promo, and she basically says, you know, like, people have been calling me just a pretty face all my life, and it's hurt all the time, but I've been a hard worker, and Sonya, of all people, should know that. Brings up how she worked 3 jobs to put herself through college and also win this like, bikini champion award many years ago. And after that, she challenges Sonya to a hair versus hair match at SummerSlam, which Sonya later on accepts. So that's good. I mean, that'd be kind of a fun bummer. It's like Sonya goes, no, we're not doing a hair match. And that's it. We're Kill it dead. So the history of hair matches at SummerSlam continues. We just watched SummerSlam 98 on this channel, and that had X-Pac and Jeff Jarrett. Hopefully, they will actually invest in proper shears this time. It's a billion-dollar company. I hope their budget for shears goes up. Backstage, Sheamus telling the security guys to take a hike, have a pint, because Retribution ain't coming back. And I will say, that right there, big Bully Ray vibes with me. And like, actually, as a fan, I'm going to bring their name up right now on the Twitter machine because they brought a good point, and I'm going to bring that up. Where'd it go? It's a little too Raph on Twitter. Is Sean Thibodeau is his handle. But he brought up a very good, interesting theory that Sheamus might be the leader of Retribution this whole time, and that might be a little hint. So I don't know if they would telegraph it that soon, but when he said that, and then I saw that clip, I would, it conjured up some things. Not gonna lie. Elsewhere, Nikki Cross finds Alexa Bliss for the first time since she got by the Fiend, and how are you doing and everything. And Bliss just she's hanging out because she wants to get answers from Braun. We then go to our next match. Sheamus takes on Shorty G. I'm pretty sure that Sheamus has been like Shorty G's most wrestled opponent on television in 2020. I don't think he's wrestled anyone else as much as he did Sheamus this year. He also seems to be a babyface again. Well, we'll get more to that later, but it's a pretty short and sweet match. Shorty gets a couple of shots in, but it's academic. Sheamus wins the white noise and the brogue kick. And so, yeah, there's that kind of theory that I'm now floating out there after Sean Thibodeau posted it to me on Twitter. TNA fans rejoice, because you're seeing the reunion of AJ Styles and Abyss. More specifically in this case, Joseph Park. The return of Abyss's mild-mannered, very nervous alter ego. Apparently, he is AJ Styles' statistician right now. He stands in the ring. Michael Cole calling him a bozo. Like, who is this weirdo in the ring in the suit? But yeah, seeing the two of them interact was great. And I didn't watch a lot of TNA back then, but I knew enough that these guys have history, and I know the Joseph Park character fairly well, because when I was watching TNA was when that character debuted. So I have a fairly good understanding of Joseph Park, that character. So it's cool to see that back. And Abyss has been an agent for so long, so it's kind of cool to see that on-air role. So AJ's gone through some big opponents, but now he wants to enjoy life. Phooey on Daniel Bryan saying he's got to be a fighting champion. According to who? Who died and made him king? So AJ is coming in with statistics. He also cares about statistics, and so he wants to unveil the Phenomenal Intercontinental Statistics System, or PISS. Sorry, Joe's apartment did that joke first. It's a big whiteboard, and it's basically it's less statistics and there's more of a ranking system, an arbitrary ranking system. So AJ Styles declares himself ranked number 1. Then he goes to reveal who number 2 through 5 is, and it's nobody. Nobody's on that whiteboard. I thought the reveal in the drum roll was pretty funny. It's like, no one's there. What a heel move. Jeff Hardy interrupts and then challenges AJ for the championship. And AJ kind of does like the heel swerve promo, the Alexa Bliss Memorial promo, where he's like, "You're a great talent, Jeff. I admire what you've all gone through." He's not going to say how pissed he was at Jeff Hardy for shitting the bed at Victory Road. Because I know what you've been through. I respect that. You deserve this shot. But will you get it? Hell no. I love AJ's delivery on that. He has not earned it. Jeff jumps AJ, hits a twist of fate, writes his own name with a little caricature on the whiteboard. And then after the break, Joseph Park is carrying the whiteboard, looking all nervous and sad again. And AJ tells Kayla, Jeff Hardy does not earn his shot yet. But he will be erased. And he tries to wipe off the name. Doesn't come off. At first, I thought it was a botch, but no, it's actually the punchline where they go, "Permanent marker gone," and Joseph, "I'm so sorry." So yeah, Park as AJ's statistician is great. I got a kick out of seeing him here. Not sure how much legs this angle has, because I don't know. It's a bit of a downgrade for AJ to go from like Anderson and Gallows as your henchmen to Joseph Park. And not to say anything bad about Joseph Park, like the man, but the character, bit of a downgrade from the Good Brothers. By the way, Talking Shop-A-Mania, show of the year. But yeah, apparently they're going to be wrestling. Styles and Hardy will be wrestling next week on SmackDown for the title. That's probably going to end at a DQ or something and carry over to SummerSlam. But or Payback even. The next... Oh, God, don't even get me started on that. But anyway, they're going to wrestle next week on SmackDown. And apparently, the last time these two wrestled was an Impact in 2013. Crazy times. It's been long enough to have a rematch and feel good about it at least. And I think that AJ in this heel mode was great. Backstage, Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura having a laugh over how small Lucha House Party are when Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado yoink the belts. Man, a lot of stolen belts in wrestling these days. Someone get Jay Biggs on the line. Shinsuke Nakamura takes on Grand Metalik. Some good action here. It doesn't go very long until Kalisto shows up. He's back from his shoulder injury, looking real jacked, baby. He and Lince take out Cesaro on the ramp. Metalik capitalizes on the distraction, hits Shinsuke with a elbow drop from the top rope to a standing Shinsuke to win the match. So a bit of an upset here. Again, it's, tag champs losing matches, even though it's a singles match and there was extenuating circumstances. So, I think it sets up, Lucha House Party as contenders, and, puts them on the map. The story is Kalisto's return. And I'm happy to see him back. I wondered what happened to him for months, and I'm glad to see him back in action. Matt Riddle is interviewed backstage. And he's asked, how do you stay so upbeat and positive despite being the victim of a king's ransom? Short answer, weed. Long answer, Riddle is just a laid-back, easygoing guy. And, he calls Corbin a royal pain. Shorty G shows up and says, he tries to explain why he tried to cash into the king's ransom. That's a lot of money for his family. It means a lot, but he got kind of wrapped up in it. So he apologizes to Riddle. Riddle accepts the apology, but then King Corbin jumps him. And Corbin... he suggests it was a setup. Thanks, Chad, for setting him up for me. And Chad looks really conflicted. So he's a reluctant babyface. We've seen this kind of dynamic before with King Corbin, oddly enough. Last time we saw that was with Heath Slater as the unwilling referee. So we'll see how this plays out. I will say, we'll see where it goes, but I'm just glad that Chad Gable's on TV for, 3 weeks in a row? Good for him. We get an interview with Alexa Bliss. Backstage. She talks about her relationship with Braun Strowman, brings up their past in the Mixed Match Challenge where they became really good friends. Maybe there were some sparks flying, who's to say. And what's the Fiend like? What's he like? And she describes him as terrifying and compelling, like a moth to a flame. Ooh, he's so charismatic. How did she feel when Braun said he didn't give a damn about her last week? And Alexa cannot even answer the question. She's so emotional. We'll find out where that goes in a little bit. Your last match of the night is Big E versus John Morrison. Take 2. Retribution interrupted last time, not so this time. Miz on commentary. It's not a pretty decent match, but then early on the lights flicker, we come back from break, and the whole SmackDown locker room is surrounded the ring. A lot of SmackDowns lately where you get that after commercial break, everyone's surrounding the ring for all these different things. We gotta watch this guy, this new guy. And, we gotta be lumberjacks to prevent shenanigans. And these activists, these activists and Revolution are coming. The match keeps going. The roster is oblivious to a Retribution assault backstage. They're beating up referees. They're locking someone in the bathroom with a chair jamming the door. They spray paint a line, the WWE logo on this conspicuous brick wall. Why do you have a brick wall in the middle of this concrete structure, this facility? So when they leave, the roster goes to the back because they've been told Retribution's there. I wish it was the Revolution. God, let's bring back Shane Douglas and Dean Malenko and Perry Saturn in Asia. Let's bring back a Revolution angle in 2020. Anyway, Big E puts Morrison in the stretch muffler, wins by submission, so he's trying to get that hold over now a little bit more. After the match, Sheamus hits a bro kick on Big E. Doesn't get a chance to do much more, though, because then out comes bald Braun Strowman. The Universal Champion has no more hair up there, and so Sheamus, he knows when it's time to go. He leave. We come back from the break, and Strowman's in the ring reiterating he is the most evil son of a bitch on God's green earth, and you know this because he bald. He basically says he will murder the Fiend. In so many words, he will murder the Fiend and consume his entrails. What a vivid description. Out comes Alexa Bliss, who shows up and says, this is not the Braun we know and love. Why, Braun? Why'd you say you didn't give a damn about me? I thought we were friends. And Braun says, we were never friends. You used me as a pawn. I'm Pawn Strowman. Strowman can't even look at her as he tries to explain this away, and Alexa tells him to turn around. He seems kind of reluctant about it, and she slaps the devil out of him, saying snap out of it and all this stuff. Finally, Braun picks Bliss up in the military press, and as he's getting ready to toss her, the lights start cutting out. It's not Retribution lighting. How confusing is that? We've got 2 acts right now on the same show where their gimmick is lights flicker and cut out. That's so... Okay. Anyway, we have 2... Retribution. They stole the Fiend's lighting gimmick, and they also stole the Ninja's aesthetic. Come on. Let's give some original looks here. So he's walking around as the lights cut out. He actually yeets her in the air as the final light cuts out. We cut to black so we don't see the impact, but the damage has been done. We hear the splat. Lights come back up. The Fiend is there standing over Alexa, but Braun's not there. For a split second, I had a Fight Club moment. Oh my god, are Braun and the Fiend the same person this whole time? We didn't even know it, but that doesn't make sense. So the Fiend's there going, where's Braun? Where's Pawn Strowman? Bald Pawn Strowman. And we get Braun on the screen. He's teleported into the screen now at Mike TV, and he starts laughing. The Fiend starts laughing. We are laughing. And that's how the show ends. Spooky cut to black. I thought that was actually a pretty cool segment. I think Braun, I think that embracing the hate, as Kane might have said. I thought, like I said, I thought for some kind of a Fight Club thing, but it was not. But yeah, I thought it was very compelling. I really want to know like where this is ending up. Like, where's Bliss going to play into this, like, at SummerSlam? How's this match going to go? Like, who's going to walk away as the real baddie? Like, real shades of gray here with Braun. He's, like, sacrificing all the good he ever knew to fight the Fiend. I think that's kind of cool. He's, like, he is embracing the hate. He's fighting fire with fire. And so, but apparently if you're, all Strowman needs to do is just spear him a few times. It worked for Goldberg. Anyway, let's bring the grade up because you already fucking saw it at the top of this show. I liked this week's episode of Smiggity Smackdown. I give it a B+. I think that there wasn't much in the way of like good matches, but there was a lot of like really good storytelling on this show that I really appreciated. Again, seeing Joseph Park made me smile. Kalisto's comeback was kind of cool, kind of a surprise. The stuff with Braun and Bliss and the Fiend was great. My one real knock on this right now is just like, not sure we needed Asuka to get in that Women's Battle Royal. But again, we'll see how the story plays out at SummerSlam. I would have liked to see someone else get that opportunity, though. That's just kind of my take on it. But yeah, B+, I was really happy with how this episode ran. It just flew by. This 2 hours kind of flew by for me. I think there was a nice flow. Again, like no match of the night, no huge high quality matches in this thing. But I think it was still a very, very good, very solid show, SmackDown. I really didn't have a whole lot of problems with it. What are your grades? Let me know in the chat. Again, as if you didn't know what the grade was going to be. I'm going to just do this first super chat now because I was going to talk about it. Andrew Binder with a $5 super chat. What do I think of the rumors of SummerSlam being held at a hopefully empty Amway Center? Yes, that is the rumor right now. I mean, they say it's a rumor, but I think it's not official. They haven't made an official statement, but like all signs seem to be leading to Amway Center, which is where the Orlando Magic play in the NBA. And it sounds like they're going to try and do some interactive stuff where they're going to have like fans on screens. I would love to see them do kind of a virtual fan thing, kind of like what baseball is doing, or basketball. I guess some of those sports. I think that, the visual of that, it might be hard to get used to, but like I think it would be cool to do that. Was SmackDown TV 14 this week? That does seem to be, that feels like a TV 14 show. It didn't feel like a TV PG show. So yeah, I think that's cool. They're changing the venue up. They are good at masking like stuff with like attendance. We've seen that before. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they gussy up this giant arena. Like, this is a standard arena, like where they do their normal shows before the pandemic hit. So how are they going to mask the fact that it's going to be like mostly empty, if entirely empty? Like what is the fan dynamic going to be like? Are they going to have the Performance Center extras, peppered in there as well? Are we going to have like the cardboard cutouts like we see in the MLB games? I really think that's going to be interesting. I like they're going to try and shake things up with a new venue. So that is my take on that. Let's see who else has done super chats. Andyman576 with a $5 super chat. I really want Big E to feud with Styles over the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah, I'm really curious to see where Big E goes from here. Like, I think if you really wanted to, you could do a good build to him to challenge for like a championship, definitely at Survivor Series. Like SummerSlam, I think it's too late for that, but like get him ramped up for a title match at Survivor Series, probably Intercontinental, but I wouldn't put it past them to try and put him in some kind of world title situation as well, depending on what's going to happen with the Universal Championship scene right now. To me, it feels really up in the air. So that's my thoughts on that. Thank you to the 500 and so people who are watching this right now. I really appreciate it. Let's see here. I don't want the Fiend to win the title, says Alicia Smith. I don't know. I'm torn about it. I don't know like where they're going to go with Braun. Because like once Braun embraces the hate and whatnot and then is done fighting the Fiend, where does he go from there? How long is he going to stay like most evil son of a bitch, whatever? I guess they're going to figure out... Or maybe Alexa Bliss turns evil. Maybe Alexa will turn on the Fiend. Or Alexa will... make a play at the Fiend and turn on him. God, I don't know what's gonna go with that. There's a lot of potential with where this is gonna go. We have one more week to try and figure it out. Goth Alexa, oh God, I'm sure there's photoshops of that shit all over the place already, man. That's my. See, I don't think there's gonna be any more super chats, so I can riff for a few more minutes before I wrap this up. We're at 25 minutes now. See, these are shorter videos. I try and keep it short. By the way, for those of you who aren't aware of the format going forth, I talked about this on my live stream today when I was playing video games, but henceforth, Raw review and Wednesday Warfare will be pre-taped, and the Smackdown review, for the sake of me getting out the door and out of the office at a decent hour on a Friday, is going to be live. So that is the schedule going forward. Trakes with 4 X's, $5 super chat. Braun laughing cracked me up too. Reminded me of the Daffy Duck Robin Hood, but oh Jesus, I hope not. It's like, I used that gag in my No Holds Barred review after Hogan and Brell were laughing. I'm sorry, Rip and Brell were laughing. But, it just cuts to Porky and Daffy having a laugh. That'd be great. Oh yeah, I totally forgot to mention that in the main event, Otis showed up. It's like it was so irrelevant. Jokage13 with a $5 super chat. Does it feel like the women's division has become more diverse in the storytelling? Hang on. We have world title, hair versus hair. Now Alexa with the Fiend. Yeah, I mentioned a few minutes ago how I thought it was being kind of the Sasha and Bayley show. And, I will give them credit because they have tried to give other women things, at least on SmackDown. On Raw, it's a different story, it feels like. I mean, unless you count Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott. But, I think that it was, the more I think about it, there is depth to the women's division now, but it feels like there has been so much emphasis on the championships that, I think it does feel kind of overkill. But I do like they are kind of slowly matriculating these other ladies into storylines, even though it doesn't feel quite as important. I think that if you're not challenging for championships, like, what are you doing? But... I think that they are given some meaningful things. Alexa in particular and the Mandy Sonya thing has had a lot of time to build. So I give them credit for that, I guess. Hang on, I missed the soups. Ian95, $5. Instead of virtual fans, WWE should do virtual legends and superstars scattered throughout the crowd. I mean, however they do it, it might look kind of hokey. And I don't really know what thing. I think there's a real risk of when you bring fans in, because I think there's been kind of a thing where people can apply for tickets to stream in there. How's that going to work, by the way? If you've got fans live streaming in there, there's going to be a delay between when they react to shit, isn't there? How is that going to work? What are the logistics? I'm really fascinated by the prospect of that. So we'll have to see how that pans out. But yeah, I mean, I think they have fun with it. I mean, God, some of the baseball games I've seen had some really wacky cutouts. They had Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's in behind home plate in one game. So I think you have a lot of fun with that. Darnell Wilson, $5 super chat. Brian's giving time away from his family to give us free content. Least you can do is give back on Patreon. I'll say it so he doesn't have to. Thank you, Darnell. I appreciate that for the super chat and for the plug on Patreon. Patreon.com/wrestlingwithregret. Lots of great perks you can get for as little as $1 a month. Trakes back with a $2 super chat. Hashtag give Naomi a chance. She's gone. Yeah, pretty much. I feel they've dropped the ball with Naomi on more than one occasion. That's no longer a running joke. It's just kind of a sad joke. Retribution will be an army led by Dominic and Ciampa. Okay. That's some universe mode shit I wasn't expecting tonight, but there we go. King of the Ozone, $5 Canadian super chat. I recently started rewatching the Attitude Era, and holy laser pointers and misogyny. The fans were ruthless back then. Yeah, pretty much. It's funny. I was actually just watching some stuff for research for an upcoming episode, and it's Goldust and Warrior, King of the Ring. No, not King of the Ring. Good friends, better enemies. And as he's powdering as Goldust, I'm pretty sure there's a discernible FAG word chant happening there. That's 96, folks. That's not even Attitude Era yet. But yeah, I also remember like back in the Attitude Era, a lot of laser pointers. Those were a real big thing. Taker would come out and there's like a million fucking sniper beams on him and shit. Yeah. So let's bring laser pointers back. Why not? Just get someone right in the eye. Excuse me. What do I think about the new look of Braun Strowman? Bald Strowman. Doing the things a bald man can. It's cool, I guess. You know, I don't know if it makes it more marketable per se. I don't know. Every new look takes some getting used to. You know, eventually we'll get used to it. Eventually they'll update the render file, the PNG, so he's bald and everything. Yeah, so that's where I'm going to wrap this stream up, folks. I think that we learned a lot about ourselves and about Smackdown and everything. Yes, I know it says no laser pens in the tickets. I know, I've seen them. But, yeah, I think it was a pretty darn good episode of Smackdown. It was B+. Again, if you saw the top of this show, you know I had the wrong graphic up, but I couldn't get the right one to come in. The swamp changed me. I'm bald now. So yeah, thanks for watching, folks. All 500 plus of you again. That's so awesome. Thank you. If you missed this review, the archived version of it will come up either later tonight or tomorrow morning, as well as the archived version of my live stream earlier today when I played some No Mercy and went off a couple times. I flew off the handle at some fans. I'm not proud of that. But I guess all I can say is the mini cornet kind of came out during that time is the best I could say. But that stuff, it was a fun day, folks. A lot of fun. Thank you all for watching. If you were here for both live streams, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the super chats. And we'll be back here live again next Friday night for video games and for Smackdown. But Monday, the Raw review will be pre-taped once again because the overwhelming consensus on the comment section was you like the pre-taped version. So I will listen to y'all and do that. But I hold firm on Smackdown for right now. But thank you all so much. It's been fun. Next week, the review is SummerSlam 89. That is the Wednesday video. And then, of course, there will be SummerSlam predictions as well. And next weekend's going to be a huge cluster because there's Saturday Dynamite, there's TakeOver, and there's SummerSlam, and there's Payback next week, which I don't even know if I'm going to do. Like, I know I'm taking that week off of weekly shows. So, like, the week after SummerSlam, there's no Monday, Wednesday, or Friday videos. I'm sorry. I hate to drop that news on you at the very end of the stream, but there you go. I'm Brian Zane, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for your support and for watching this live stream. Have a great weekend, everybody.